Sure. Before we talk about journalism, we got to squash some beef.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm gonna talk about. You know what I'm gonna say.
Yes, the whole ownership issue of the blocked and reported trademark.
Let's not say ownership. Let's not worry about that. But just the name blocked and reported. How'd you come up with that one?
So we asked when Katie and I were starting this podcast back. God, fucking March, I guess. Like lockdown had just started. We asked people on Twitter what it should be called, and two different people said blocked and reported. Katie did a search on Apple Podcasts and the other main, podcast sites, and this was unclaimed, which is why we took it. If at the time we had known that you had a podcast with that name on SoundCloud, we would have gone a different name. But in our defense, I thought it was a good faith effort on Katie's part to make sure the name wasn't taken. And I hope this will not, salt the earth of our rapidly blossoming friendship.
Sure. Yeah. Well, you do in episode 2. You do refer to me as your buddy, Logic Guy, which I just wanted to take the time and say that I found that to be creepy and inappropriate.
Yeah.
Just because we met in a convention once doesn't make us friends.
I shouldn't have posted those photos of us. Sorry about that.
Yeah. I am really looking forward to that episode of Blocked and Reported. Of the fake Blocked and Reported. I do gotta admit, I don't remember you putting that question up on Twitter, but I do remember way before that you asked your followers to name your I guess your Substack.
Yeah, I don't have any ideas of my own, so I just have to steal everyone else's ideas.
Yeah, and I submitted one. And you quote tweeted it and you said, I don't like to say there's any such thing as a bad idea, but this is literally the worst idea I've ever heard. And now you're using my podcast name. How ironic.
What was the newsletter name you suggested?
Single source of all truth.
Yeah, no. Absolutely not. Come on.
You don't like it because you're not a programmer. If you were a programmer, you'd love it.
If I was a programmer, my whole life would be very different. So.
You'd be like, "This is fantastic. This is what a great play on words." It's actually a good name for a journalist too. I would think.
Single source of maybe I'll steal this one from you too.
It's too late because my podcast partner and I, Kyle, are renaming the original Blocked and Reported to Single Source of All Truth tomorrow. So it's gone, buddy.
Oh wow,
you missed it. It was either that we had two options. We had that one, and then we had the Jesse Singal, Katie Herzog White Power Hour with Kyle and Dan.
Right. Yeah, that one. The other one we stole from you.
Right. Yeah, it was between those two, but the first one's just a little snappier. Yeah. So that's what it is. So anything else you want to say about your theft of my intellectual property?
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll go down as like sort of one of the biggest crimes in human history. It's like 9/11 if 9/11 had actually happened, basically.
This time the Jews really did do it.
Yeah, I think you're Jewish and can say. Wait, can you say that? Are you Jewish?
No, I'm not. I'm not Jewish. I have a lot of friends though.
Canceled.
That's the other thing about your podcast. It's like our Blocked and Reported, but just like with 4,000% more I identify as a helicopter jokes.
I don't do the wait, we do that or you do that?
I'm saying you do that.
No, the helicopter joke, I don't like that. The helicopter joke is like played out, and also, no, okay, we do talk about identity, but I think we...
Like right there where you were like, oh, canceled? Or like,
canceled,
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Triggered, right. I try to stay away from that,
It's like, it's sort of on brand for you.
Yeah, I mean, I think what we're trying to do is there's a lot of people who think online discourse is stupid and progressive discourse is increasingly stupid, and they want someone to talk about this shit without going the like intellectual dark web identifies an attack helicopter route. So we make fun of some of the excesses, but yeah, I think we don't like the whole like why can't I identify as whatever is usually weaponized against someone else online, usually a trans person. And, I'm critical of certain aspects of like some of these ideologies, but I don't like the idea of like making it about an individual person or making fun of them.
Would you say
Katie, on the other hand, is vicious and hates trans people?
She's the bad boy of the podcast.
Yep, I'm the good girl. She's the bad boy.
This brings up something else I wanted to ask you. I don't know if you ever listened to my podcast. Did you happen to hear the episode where I referred to Katie as your mean lesbian girlfriend?
No, I mean it's
Okay, good. I'm
accurate.
good. I'm
I hadn't
glad.
heard that one.
I was worried about that.
Yeah.
Let me ask you: would you say you're threading a needle between like the IDW and like woke?
Yeah, I mean, and I think maybe Katie and I have slightly different politics. I'm pretty boring, lefty, more redistribution. America's failing vulnerable people in various ways. And part of the reason this stuff bothers me is like, I don't think this is how you convince people to be progressive and how to join in a progressive coalition. And I think it's just so. A lot of the way we talk about identity is just very masturbatory and unless you went to a good college and are steeped in a very sort of rarefied vernacular, you're not going to be able to participate in those conversations. So, yeah, also, it's just interesting and funny because, like, dumb internet bullshit is funny. And this is sort of our world because we're progressive journalists.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, so I don't know if it's, like, threading a political needle between those two because, like, the politics often get muddled. But
I wouldn't call yours like a political podcast, really. I don't think of it that way.
I don't. I think it mostly isn't. Although sometimes we talk about politics,
like culture. How would you describe it?
Yeah, I think our Apple category is culture ampersand society.
Oh, all right. Yeah, media, the internet.
Yep.
There's a. I guess this isn't probably an official Apple category, but there's a category I like called like internet lore.
Yeah, we definitely like to dive into some internet lore. So we're hoping. If Trump ever does recede from the scene, we can get back to the bread and butter of just like bizarre shit on the internet.
Yeah. Can I ask you, when you say your politics are different than Katie's, like, how would you describe the difference?
Well, I don't know if they're different. I'm not sure if you had to put us on a straight line. She'd answer this better than I could. I might be a little bit leftier than her, but I'm not sure because like mostly that's not what we talk about. It's just there's times I've gotten that impression, but that's fine because like if we agreed on everything, that'd be stupid and boring.
Yeah. So all right. I won't hold you in the hot seat anymore. Consider beef squashed. I'm not saying we'll change our name. But consider it. You came on my podcast. You talked to me, so we can consider the blocked and reported beef squashed.
Yeah, let's consider it like an unsteady truce, but a truce nonetheless.
No, it's a steady truce. I'm saying so.
A steady truce. I'm sorry, a steady truce.
All right, excellent.